So it's 7:45 on the range today, and one thing they don't really tell you about firearm safety that they should, you have to be able to develop that skill to identify when somebody comes onto the range and they don't know what they're doing, either because they're incompetent, they're untrained, they're unknowledgeable, or because they have a serious attitude problem and they add firearms into the mix. Kind of like there's 3 or 4 rules of firearm safety, basically depending on which instructor you go to. But the 4th or 5th rule that I always add on is never shoot angry. There's never reason to practice angry because it just leads to trouble. And just this morning, as I'm setting up my gear on the range, I got here at about 7:20, which gives me about 40 minutes to set up before shooting commences at 8 a.m. or it's a public range, so there's a board. You go to the board and you look at all the rules. And I wasn't sure if it was sunrise or 8 a.m. And the other reason I always check the board while I'm here is in case they've added new rules. So I check the board, and I spend the next 40 minutes setting up, getting some camera shots and such. It's kind of a courtesy to walk around, you know, just check out what people are shooting, check out what people are doing, notice if there's any safety issues, introduce yourself, make small talk, that kind of thing. 7:40, guy pulls up. He's got his America t-shirt on, he's got his earplugs already plugged in, sets up his target, puts on his bag, and I can tell he's already got an attitude. So I can tell, you know what, I'm gonna focus on him instead of focusing on what I'm doing. He goes, "You good?" I go, "Yeah, I'm good." Pulls out his Glock 43, starts shooting. Now the guys on the other side on the rifle range, they've been here since 6 a.m. They yell over, "Hey, whoa, shooting starts at 8 a.m. Immediately the guy with his Glock 43 starts throwing a fit, throwing a big attitude. And that's when I took my firearm, loaded it, put it back in my holster, and just walked the hell away. It's very rare that you see an argument on a range. It's usually something about safety issue. It's usually between one person who's being impatient, who has an attitude, who came here with some sort of agenda, and then people who are safety oriented, who don't want to catch a negligent discharge. And you know, the guys who came here, you know, they got here super early so that they could go over firearm safety before everyone is here popping off rounds. And so what kind of example does it set when you have somebody who comes here and flaunts the rules right off the bat? And that's just, you know, we haven't even gotten to the chance to actually shoot an already, you know, safety issue on the range. It's the number 1 rule aside from the basic 3 or 4 that everybody knows, and that rule is don't shoot while angry. Shooting is not supposed to be therapeutic. It would make no difference if it wasn't firearms. If we were all here working on cars or boats or high voltage or doing some rigging with ropes or rock climbing or hiking or whatever, and that person came out with that same agenda, it would lead to trouble. And the game warden, if they stopped by, could give us all trouble. And this public range is a privilege. If people abuse it, they will take it away. You know, because it's paid for by tax dollars and it's paid for by the Game Commission, and we're very thankful to have it. But when you're in the firearms, you know, don't assume that everyone's gonna be professional, knowledgeable, and trained, even if you are. So as soon as that guy came out, I wasn't gonna argue with him. I said, you know, "Hey man, that's the rule, don't do it." And he said, "Nah, that's good." The second person came out, yelled at him, said, "Hey, whoa, 8 a.m. And he goes, "I don't care, blah blah blah." Just backed away. You know, left my gear and everything and just went to my car and just, I'm gonna wait this out. You know, eventually he'll run out of ammo, run out of steam, or exactly what happened was, you know, he got confronted, his ego got involved, and he just said, "You know what, screw you guys," and left, which we were very thankful he did. And afterwards I walked up to the other guys on the other side of I was on the pistol, there on the rifle, and I said, "Hey, you know, I got nothing to do with that guy. I have no idea who he is. My name's," you know, we talked about all the reasons why that guy was absolutely ridiculous, because I didn't want them to think that I had any association with that guy, and I didn't want them to think that I had a similar attitude problem. So just sharing that experience, because if you're doing this for long enough, it's really good to identify when people have attitude problems, people bring safety issues into the mix, and we never want safety issues into the mix, because there's no accidents in the firearm industry, there's only negligence and ignorance. Similar stories, similar experiences, let me know. It's the Michael Raven channel. Be safe, be ready. Thanks.